last deployment, Chromite, Johnson actually got captured.
Oh.
Yeah, it was kind of towards the end of it. So we were fucking balls deep in Iraq. We were close to the Syrian border as well, and he was up in a 64. They were doing CAS overlook over the AO. Then here over long range, Reaper comes over. Mayday, Mayday. Reaper's going down. Over my right shoulder, I hear and see the 64 crash over to the valley next to us, and immediately called that out over the long range, relayed that over to the sections, and that immediately changed our troop tasking to responding to that. And the HQ element immediately got up and regrouped the sections and started responding to that casualty. Who's up on that hill? Castle, you were with me and Soul, right?
Yeah.
So it was me, Castle, Soul, and our other marksman at the time, which I think was you, York. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were up there with us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Back when York used to be the Bravo section marksman, he was up there with us, and it was the troop HQ and marksman up on that hill. Went over. We definitely took some heavy contact getting over to the bird. Get over to the bird. No one's there, so we had to pull back to an LZ that we set up. Got back, and then we get word from Oni back at the base that Lieutenant Johnson was captured and was being held under foreign authorities. And then the next week we had to go back and get him. I was asked to stay back at base for that mission, so I wasn't there to witness that. You guys were both there for that.
I mean, it was a pretty heavily guarded compound. There was multiple mounted dish comes up at the top of the houses with sandbags covering them. But we came in from the northwest or northeast, sorry, and yeah. Other than that, it was like just a bunch of close quarter shit, and there was like this well that like was in a house, and under that where they were holding Johnson captive. Yeah, that shit was hard to get into. We had to like flashbang down and then jump in. And yeah, it was a scary moment.
Cass, were you there for that one?
Well, 3 guys from Alpha were on Overwatch detail, and I can neither confirm nor deny who those 3 persons were. But it was pretty fun. We just mostly held Overwatch, made sure that no hostile contacts drove up onto the compound to harm either Bravo or the captive inside the compound, and we ended up in a firefight with Syrians. That was fun.
That's exciting. Well, you guys are a little newer around here. Do you guys have any stories from previous deployments with the previous units?
Oh, well, yes, there's one story that I recall a couple of weeks ago. You were driving
Here?
Yeah, with you guys with Blue.
Oh, okay, all right.
Maybe it was a couple of days ago on our last deployment. Driving down a vehicle, I saw a BMP right in front of us. Told the driver, stop, pull over, stop. Didn't do that. Drive to the side and hit the tree. We decided to all dismount. But once we hit the tree, don't know who it was, whether it was York or Duke, saw a rocket fly right by us and get the hell out of here, boy. That was one of the.
Wait, that was here?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Was that a Fall River mission?
Yeah,
Fall
I
River,
think it
yeah.
was. It was. I think it was last Fall River that we
02?
had. Can't. Might have been this recent one.
Oh.
But. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, shit. Yeah, I wasn't with you guys, so.
Yeah, I think they crashed, and I was in a Vic with a Maverick, and we drove past, and that missile really just like came right. I'd say 2 inches from the front of our Vic.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that was a really big pucker factor. I was surprised we got out of there.
Yeah, I heard that you guys took a lot of contact on that south coast there. I didn't hear the radio chatter myself, but Soul let me know that their radio chatter is fucking mental right now.
Yeah, as we ran to go get the Mark V, and as we were pulling back to get the other thing, it was Duke and I think it was Ross. Ross, were you on the ground?
Yeah,
Or
I
did
was
you
on the
go?
ground with Duke.
Yeah, and as we were coming back, one of the hostages got shot, and he died. It was really unfortunate. We wanted to bring him in
Oh,
alive, but
yeah, yeah.
as we were rolling in, we have Maverick over our comms, just over here screaming, just freaking out. It was the funniest shit I ever heard. Trying to just calm him down while he's just screaming, "Everybody's around!" He's like shitting his pants.
Yeah, it definitely looked like. I looked on C-Tab when we were waving off in the 53, and it looked like you guys were already at the BLS. And we could have stayed there. But I mean, you guys eventually did gather.
Yeah, about like I remember you called up on radio and says, "Are you guys gonna be fine?" And I was like, "Yeah, we'll be fine." And about 30 seconds later, we get ambushed from our front, like right near our BLS, and one of the hostages goes unconscious because he took a round to like the leg or something, and then Waterman, who was carrying him, takes a round to the chest and got it bounced off the plate, but he just lays down and starts laying fucking lead down range with the 249. Shit was sick.
Yeah, I remember you saying that, we're fine. We don't need support. You guys can wave. All right, Jack. We get back to the fob, and then you said, "Hey, I need you to call in fucking Cass." I was like, "Oh, you don't need help, huh? All right, Roger." So I kind of felt bad, but I was like, he did say to wave off, so whatever.
Yeah, 'cause it was looking clear as we were going along the beachhead, and then all of a sudden, like rounds just start coming fast, and I almost shit my pants. But
Yeah,
fucking yeah, it was really lucky we got out of there.
probably the most heavy fire that I've been under here was probably at that last Chromite mission where we had to kill the Ace of Spades, and that was when Bravo had full mass gas, and I was the only one up. It was just me and Duke, and we were just going back and forth healing each other to try to. At least one of us was up at all times for the most part, but there wasn't too much time where both of us were up at the same time, and that was quite a shitstorm. There's a lot of armor involved with that one. That was rough exfil, but it was still a good one.
We were doing an op, and it was a pretty big area we had to do. So it was in the desert, and we had a bunch of small towns, some big towns, stuff like that. And we were taking one of the towns, and explosion came out of nowhere. Don't remember what happened. I think it was an IED, and we're all, everyone's kind of freaking out, doing whatever, meeting the medic, healing everyone, doing everything. And I look out into the road, and there's this guy with a tiny truck, and it has like a blue covering on the back, just flies by. We have no idea who it was. We think it was one of the locals, but he just drove by, and we were like, "Who's that guy?" He disappeared for the whole op. And so then we went through the rest of the, I guess we'll call it a state type thing, but we went through the rest. We did the whole op. We started getting bombarded with mortars, and
the guy would always be there, right?
Yeah, every time we would get like just heavy fire out of nowhere, he would always be there. But then he would disappear.
When was this? Was this here?
Oh,
No, this was a previous group.
Well, yeah, you guys were at previous units
Yeah.
together. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So, but this guy was always there in his little truck with his blue car, just always there. And then I remember at the end, towards the end, we lost a couple of vehicles and had a bunch of guys that were injured, stuff like that. We're taking them all back. And as we're going back to the compound to, wrap everything up, he comes driving by again. We're like, who is this guy? We couldn't figure out who this guy was, and then he was gone. And we were just like, okay, well, what? We don't know. we never figured out who it really was. It was just some dude, some local that just kept driving around.
Did you also have a pink shirt as well? It was a blue one.
Yes, he had a pink shirt on as well.
Pink shirt on.
I don't think I've ever really had anything in game like that was like a consistent thing. As far as like what happens in a mission, I know there's a couple of traditions I still carry on from previous units that aren't really mission related. Like there's, and if I put in a arsenal, I don't think you all you guys should know by this point, but if I ever spawn in an arsenal in game, it's always going to be a bunk bed, no matter what. So if you ever see me in Zeus have to put down an arsenal, it will be a bunk bed every time. Previous unit tradition, I don't know why, it just started there. Been doing it ever since, fucking 4 years. So it's not changing now. Yeah. That boy's gonna go take a quick piss.